I was talking to my student Keith today about keys, and he's my question guy. And he was wondering about vocal ranges, which was a really interesting topic. He was wondering about where the fiddle lands if it was a vocal range, and so we looked all that kind of stuff up, and it turns out that the fiddle is basically a tenor, like most things.
Oh,
And we were talking about the octaves, and about how many 2 octave scales are available on the violin. And I showed, so I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about that, but there's only it depends on whether you're playing violin music or fiddle music, but for fiddle music, there's only about 5 keys that are available in 2 octaves on the violin before you have to start shifting. We got G. See that? 2 octaves, nicely available there. A. Okay. B flat. Love that key. It's a great key. And then the last one is C. And that's it. After that, you have to shift to get the next octave. See that? Now, I was mentioning that to Keith, but I had to point out that if I was a violinist, we would also have A flat in 2 octaves. I'm not even going to try it. We would also have B major. Not B flat, but B major. So that's G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, and C sharp major you could also do. But we never play in B, C sharp, or A flat, ever. I don't think there's even one tune in those keys, so we don't really worry about it. But if you were a violinist, you would have to learn all that, because you never know. Or if you play with a singer all the time. So you hear a little disdain in my voice when I say that, because you could work on a song and get it worked up really, really well in the key of B flat, and you're looking forward to it. And the guy comes in and says, "My voice isn't quite up to it today. I'm gonna have to do it in A." It's like, oh well, God, okay, I guess so. You got to rework all the stuff, And then if he tells you he's gonna do it in, oh, I'm feeling great today. Now I'm not going to do B flat. I'm going to do B. It's like, oh, God. Because B really sucks because you can't play your open strings.
right,
It's just a
right.
pain. So when you play with singers, you got to be ready. It could be anything because their range, it all depends on how they're feeling. And for them, it's kind of the starting point really doesn't matter. They could start on any note as long as the high one. And I was using Danny Boy as the example because we're doing Danny Boy in the orchestra. And most of that is in and around we're doing it in F. So it's in and around the D string and the A string. But the highest note is a high A. So you go from C to A. See that? So if I was a singer, most of the tune is right around here. It's all right around here. So if I'm a singer, I'm feeling comfortable around here and it's all going great. Everything's great. And then I get to... And I realize I'm way too high. I'm never going to get that high note. And you're like ah! So when you're a singer, you have to make sure your starting point leaves you enough room for the range of whatever the song is. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, violinists can go up high too because they go up 3rd position, 6th position. They can go really high. 57 available notes on the violin if you were to play them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of them are really weak. As you get really high up on the fiddle, that's a high E, okay? E6. It's in tune, but it barely sounds. See that? I'll go even higher. That's a G. Elaine, you look like you're sucking on a lemon. Isn't that something? And the reason it's so harsh is because you have a very small string here. See that? Not much string at all. And so that little string is just going, and it's like, oh God, it's too much, you know? So anyway, interesting. Thought I would point all that stuff out because I don't know if I
Thank
talked
you.
about how many octaves are available.
It's
And if
very
you
interesting.
if you're ever in a situation where you're jamming with a band, which I hope you do sometime, that's really valuable. You know what I mean? Your starting point, what notes you can use in a key, and if you can go 2 octaves or not.
Wow.
All right, laddie, come here, laddie, laddie with the platy. Come here and give me back my platy.
I just have to go and hide and tune up my fiddle here.
You got it, man. You have to tune up your fiddle, or else practicing is kind of useless. All right, laddie with the platy. I will tune up my fiddle too. Okay, let's do a quick D major and with the arpeggio. Okay, ready, go. Okay, I did really good, but I'm going to do it again to make sure it wasn't a fluke. One more D. Ready, go. Arpeggio. All right, I did great, if you wanted to know. Okay, laddie with the platy. So we're doing good with this. I know we're going slow, but we could probably pick it up a little bit tonight. So let's do it 2 times at the regular practice speed, and then we'll try picking it up a little bit. See if it survives. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Great tune, my God. Now, how did everybody do with that? Not bad? Yeah?
The very last line I can't keep up to still.
Can't keep up to. Okay. Now, what happens? Tell me what's the first thing that
It's
goes
just,
wrong.
oh, da 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 da. After that, I can't keep up.
Okay.
I don't have it memorized yet, and it's just too fast. I can play it slowly.
Okay. Why don't we play that last part slowly about 400 times?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's do it like that. Okay. So it's the last. Yeah, the last. So from the long F. So that's going to be bar 21. Okay. So, ready, go. Let's do it again. Same thing. Ready, go. Okay, one more time, a little tiny bit faster, just a little. You won't even notice. I shouldn't have told you. Ready, go. looked like it went pretty well. That's good. Okay, let's go try one more time, even a little tiny bit faster. Just the tiniest. Okay. Ready, go. Okay, take a little breather. We're going to do one more. Okay, ready, 2, 3, go. Now, how's that go? Is it good? Did it work? Okay. One more. I know I'm pushing it. We're going to do one more. One, 2, 3, go. Woo! That looked like it worked. How you doing, Heather? Did you get through it that time?
I loved that. That was
Oh,
great. And
that's great.
yeah, so the second last time I was still able to get them all the
Yeah,
notes. And
yeah.
this last time I could catch back, like I could catch back on. If I fell
Oh,
off, I could
perfect.
catch on. So
Yes.
it was awesome. Thank you.
Very, very good. Now, how about you, Astrid? How are you doing with all those triplets?
Yes, I'm feeling the same thing on the bar with the B minor. I have to think twice about that because it goes after the first triplet, you go from a D to the F, and
Yeah.
somehow that's a difficult reach for me for with the third finger, then up to the first finger very quickly. So I lose it there.
Watch
Right?
this. You can put them both at the same time.
Pardon me, you play both notes at the same time?
I don't play both notes, but I put them there.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Oh, look at that.
Hmm.
Very
Wow.
good. Very good.
Yeah, I'll have to work on that one there. Okay.
Now that has to do with the double stops. Remember, we were working on double stops and holding down two fingers. So that's one of them, right? That's a
Yeah.
like you can play those two notes. It's a third. See that? So when you do that little move, you already have it down. It makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Very, very good. You get the idea?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how about you, Elaine? How did you do with all those triplets?
I had a light bulb moment.
Oh, I love those.
No, I figured out. I don't know why I didn't see it before, but on those on the last line of triplets,
Yeah.
you're going. Well, for the first one, it's F E F, and then you go down the scale,
Yes.
and then you do the same, and it goes each time. It's so the pattern is
right.
there.
It's
So
a
all of a sudden, there's
pattern.
a pattern.
Very good. Awesome. I love that. And it is a pattern. And I was going to say, I was going to mention it, but you kind of ended up bringing it up, which is great. Patterns are awesome because you don't need to read it, right? You can just let your fingers do it. But you got to make sure you're starting on the right note.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing about it. That's sometimes what gets me. Anyway, very good. So we had some good success. So let's try her again from the top, little tiny bit quicker, and see if it works. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Better, I hope. Excellent.
I think that was the best I've ever played it.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So good feeling.
I'm torturing the orchestra with double stops these days. Isn't that right, Elaine? I make them do it every time, and but we played what do you call it? Irish Washerwoman on Wednesday at 120 with really good success. Like I was really impressed, you know. And that's really a tune where you got to get your double stops in place to go fast. So I think it does a really good job to look at the double stops. Okay, speaking of which, let's get the reels going here. So let's see. We got Jenny Dang the Weaver. Dang a Weaver with a potato masher. Jenny Dang the Weaver. Okay. and the other one,
Silver Spear.
Silver Spear. Oh yeah, the fancy killing tune. It wasn't fancy. That was the inferior spear. Was the silver one because it wouldn't keep its edge like an iron one, which is kind of interesting. Okay, it's funny. I get these tunes out, the music, but I know them so well. But I'm worried that I might start improvising. Oh, me and the boys were doing a TV commercial on Monday. I can't remember what the TV commercial is for, but it's at the what is it now? The Royal Crown or the Crown Rose and Crown, the Rose and Crown pub, and he wants it to be like a kind of a Celtic thing going on. So and I was like, well, you know, the pipes sound great. They really make the nice. Really set the stage for that. And he was like, well, it's just going to be still shots. We just need it to look the part. And I was like, well, you got 3 guys that really look the part. So we'll see what that's like. It's usually a total pain, those things, because you just wait around all day for a few minutes of pretending. But anyway, it's good money, so we're doing it. Okay, which one should we do first? Silver Spear and then Jenny Day. We'll start there. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. That was a clip. How did everybody do? Did you survive? Were there any survivors? Not really. Was it too fast? It might have been. We'll try them a little slower, but I thought it would be good to give it a try. Now, but I do want feedback. So, Astrid, what was the first thing that went wrong for you?
I'm going to say on the silver spear, it has to be that fingering on the E and the A. It's that same old problem that I had with Laddie, and I just recognize that right now because we were talking about it. And so every time I see that, I said, well, it's hard for me to get this first finger over to the E string. So Dan, I've got to have an operation on my on my finger.
You can if you practice that double stop, that'll come really easy.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
But that's probably, I can definitely see why that would be getting in the way. How about you, Heather? What was the first thing to get in the way?
Just sort of a bit of a phenomenon where I have these memorized and I'm looking at the music and I shouldn't be. And I know that I can go faster if I go back into my what I've memorized brain.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, the Newfoundlanders, so you can't read that fast. That's the thing. I think you can read right up until about 80. And then you can't read fast enough to do it, right? The Newfoundlanders call it driving faster than your headlights on the skidoo. Yeah, you're right. You have to kind of rely on what's already there, and that's what I would definitely suggest. Like, because we practiced these, I'm sure your hand already knows them, so you got to rely on it. You got to take that plunge and rely on it. We'll try it again, though. Don't worry. How about you, Elaine? Anything go wrong?
The going back for the second time on Jenny Dang, getting back into it again. And it took me until probably the second bar to get. Yeah.
I understand. Now here's how you're going to battle that. Wail on the A.
Okay.
There are 4, including the cut, right?
Right. Yeah.
So by the time you start wailing on it, I'm sure you'll hit one of them. And then you can pick up and keep running.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's try one more time. Okay. All right, now let me just see where we're at with the metronome. I'm going to guess that it's about... That was... Yeah, it was 90. Okay? So we'll try it slightly slower than that, but not much. One, two, three, go. for the weaver. He wasn't going to be weaving anything else after that potato masher hit him. All right, how did you do that time? Better? Oh, good. That's great. Did the tricks work? Yeah? It's great. All right, now let's think of something for next time. Let's change gears a little bit here. See what we got on the old hard drive. The orchestra is doing, what do you call it, Rocky Road to Dublin. Actually, we should do that. Have we ever done that? Rocky Road to Dublin? Oh, let's do it. I'll show it to you first, though. See what you think. It's not that hard. It's a slip jig. That's it. Not hard. I'll show you.
That sounds familiar.
That's the Rocky Road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hup, hunt the hare. It's a song. Have you ever heard the song? I'm sure you have. It's very, very popular. But not many people have actually listened to the lyrics. And I'll tell you, it's quite a story. And there's a lot of lyrics. It's a long one because the road to Dublin from Galway is very long. I went from Galway to Dublin once, and it was me and my brother Paul, and we were supposed to play the Scary's Traditional Weekend, which was north of Dublin, and we had to lead a session, all this stuff, and we finished off in Galway, and we were at sessions the night before, and it was one of these nights in Galway that's hard to imagine, but you're there, you're playing tunes in 3 or 4 pubs until like 2 in the morning. Then you realize you have nowhere to stay, and one of the people at the session says, "Don't worry about it, you can stay at ours," and then you do. And you stay at a complete stranger's house, and then the next morning you wake up and they're making you beans and toast. It's crazy. What a crazy place, you know? A fiddle player and her partner. And they were so nice. They had no business taking us in like that, but they did for some reason.
It's so great.
Isn't that awesome? Just great.
So nice.
And then, of course, my brother Paul is a lot older than me. He's number 3 and I'm number 11, right? And so he was suffering real bad. And I wasn't too bad, you know, because we had been drinking pints the whole night. So he was in a bad way. And we got to get the bus to Dublin to get to do this festival. And everybody's telling us the night before, don't take the wrong bus, because everything's in goddamn Gaelic. You don't know what the hell the bus says. And so, and they're like, don't take the wrong bus, because one of the buses goes into every little community between here and Dublin. It'll take you 5 hours to get there. If you get the right bus, it's the new highway. You'll be there in 2 hours. And so we're standing there waiting for the bus. And this bus comes, and my brother Paul is on the bench like this. And it's like, Paul, here's the bus. He wakes up, oh yeah, let's get on. And I was like, wait, hold on. Let's make sure it's the right bus. He's like, oh, would you shut up? Would you shut up? Come on, come on. And we get on the bus and he passes out. Next thing you know, first exit on the highway, the bus pulls off. Wrong bus. I knew it. I knew it. And so we finally get to Dublin. No trains. Finally get to the place like 3 hours late. So I blame my brother. And that's my story about the Rocky Road to Dublin. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen here. Big brothers, they have this kind of thing on you. They're kind of like, listen, you're young, so shut up. Okay, you can see it's very simple tune. It's a single, which means the parts are only 4 bars long. In the second part there, you might notice that there's no repeat sign. So they've just written out both times that you play the B part there. See that? They've written it fully out rather than using repeat signs and second endings. So I'm going to play it for you slow now while you're looking at it. Okay? And then the problem with this tune is it leaves you hanging, so you have to end it by going. You gotta kind of play the first phrase again to end it. See that? So it's very simple, and it's great practice. Great practice, this tune. I'm gonna try it again, so you really see if you can follow along while I'm playing it, and then we'll maybe try to get the first phrase or something like that. Oh, I should also mention there's an F sharp in the key signature, but in the first part, the F's in the first part, there's two F's in the first part, and I play them natural, okay? Because it's more like an ornament. See that? It's barely a note. So the rest of the F's, however, in the tune are sharp, okay? So not hard, okay? Let's see if we can play the first line. It's the same thing twice, slightly different. Okay, let's just give it a try. So we got E, F, E, and then we got D, B, A. That's the main kind of theme of the tune there. Okay, let's see if we can get that. 1, 2, go. Okay, let's try that again. Just the first bar. E, F, E, D, B, A. Ready, go. One more to be sure. Ready, go. Okay, then we got this here. Let's try doing that. The second bar. E to A, and then there's 3 A's. Ready, go. Do it again, same thing. Ready, go. One more to be sure. Ready, go. Oh, it's looking good, guys, looking good. Now let's see if we can put that together. And the only difference between the first 2 bars and the second 2 bars are just like 3 notes. Okay? So let's see if we can go right through. First line. And then this tune will be stuck in your head for the rest of the week. Ready, go. Again. So you see the difference there. Here, let's try, just on its own, let's try the last 2 bars of that line. Okay, the last 2 bars of the first line. ready, go. Yeah, do that again, same thing. Ready, go. One more, ready, go. Looking good. Let's try the whole thing from the top. The whole line. Ready, go. Again. Again. Last time. And it's the type of thing where you just loop and loop and loop, and it leads back into itself. And in the second part, you can see that the bars look very similar to each other. The first 3 bars look very similar to each other, and then it's a little different. And then the first 2 bars look similar to each other, the last line, and then there's an ending. So it's all very kind of the same phrase. All right? Anyway, what you're going to do, your homework is look up Rocky Road to Dublin on YouTube this week. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It's a wicked song. You're going to love it. And it's a wicked story. And by the time you listen to that a few times, I bet you'll be able to play the tune without even trying. Okay, so that's your homework. Find Rocky Road to Dublin. And I will send this to you guys right now. Okay? Have a good week, guys.